Okay, and this is part 5 of this timing belt and head gasket replacement, and this 2004-2006 Toyota Sienna all-wheel drive or 4x4 automatic transmission. Now to remove the tensioner here, you see the extension right there with the socket 12mm bolt. I had to move the power steering pump bracket down. I'm holding it with bungee here. If you can see the bungee here. Ahora eso es con una extensión aquí, con un wobble de esos flexibles, saca el 12 de allá del tensioner, del tensionador, pero tiene que ser para abajo, agarrarla con un bungee aquí, la power steering pump. Yeah, now it's I have the space here because I moved it back. So ahora tengo el espacio, si ven, para sacar el tensionador. Okay, and now I'm gonna be removing this idler here for the timing belt. This is a 10mm hex bolt. Okay, right now, and now this is next. This idler here for 10mm bolt for the timing belt here. I'm gonna be removing it right now. Es un para sacar el de abajo es un Allen 10, número 10, allá hacia debajo, y este es un 14, un tornillo 14, y después de eso la faja de tiempo debería salir por fuera. Okay, I'm gonna be removing the gear cams. The gear cams over here, 17mm bolt. So you gotta be, this is a 17mm socket, half drive ratchet, because this one really gets stuck. And this is an adjustable wrench here, so because I don't have to let it move. You cannot let it move because it's already in time. Let me show you the timing mark here. I painted, but it's in the same spot. I painted so the camera can get it better. That's the mark right there on the metal cover, and this is so they gotta line up. So to take these things off, because they are really get stuck, these cams, if you have a helper, it should be better, even better, because a helper can hold it here, and you can turn it over here. That's the way to do it at the same time. So don't let it move once you have it on time. Esta es la llave ajustable para tenerla a la misma vez que le va a dar vuelta aquí, porque no se le puede mover para que no se mueva el tiempo, no se puede mover. Entonces cuando alguien le haga acá, si tiene un ayudante es mejor, el otro tiene que tener acá. Okay, now I'm gonna remove this cover here, this metal cover. They are already loosened. Vamos a sacar voy a sacar la cubierta de metal acá, después de haber removido los gear cams. Son 6 tornillos de 10 milímetros. I already loosened to make the process faster. Now it's ready to come off. Here, beautiful. Alright, right now I'm gonna remove the water pump. This is holding, these are the 10mm bolt. Los tornillos son 10 milímetros. Aquí es tuerca, vamos a ver si logro ver. 1, 2 y 3, o sea, 1, 2 y 3, allá abajo, ahí, 3, son tuercas. These are nuts, 10mm nuts. This is 3, and there is another one here, another one, 10mm bolt, and it's ready to come off here. Okay, and right now I'm beneath the car here because I'm gonna be removing this cylinder head, and I have to those are the 14mm nuts right there. I'm gonna take those off, both of them on both sides, and to detach the exhaust pipe from the catalytic converter, because I'm gonna be removing the cylinder head with the catalytic converter attached to it because of the transfer case. it's easier like that, because if I detaching it from the cylinder head, it's gonna be too hard because of the transfer case. Ok, ahorita voy a remover esas tuercas 14 del catalítico y el mofle. O sea, voy a despegar el catalítico del mofle, porque la cabeza va a salir con el catalítico. La voy a sacar con el catalítico por la 4x4, que es demasiado trabajo sacar el catalítico de la cabeza y remover los abarrotes de arriba. Okay, and now the next step over here is I'm gonna be removing the camshaft and the old 10mm bolt here. Now that I removed I just finished removing detaching the exhaust pipe from the catalytic converter with the two 14mm bolts. Next is going to be this. Please start in the middle and then spread it out to the sides, and lose them a little bit. The 10mm bolt, don't lose them completely, because then you put pressure on one side of the cam, and that is not good. You lose them a little bit, all of them, and then lose them all. Vamos a sacar los cams. 10 milímetros son todos. Inicie de aquí aflojándolos un poquito. Todos los afloja un poquito y después los saca. Nunca afloje uno primero completamente, porque si no pone presión a un lado y peligroso quiebre algo. Okay, just a tip here. If they get stuck once you have removed the bolt, just lift them up like this from here. They all have something like a lobe right there. Maybe the camera doesn't get it, but you can lift it up from there. I don't know if you can see how it moves up. See? That's how you remove them, but do not hit them from the sides. Solamente para sáquelo así. Si él se pega después que aflojó los tornillos, así, pero nunca le pegue a los lados. Tienen una lomita aquí, como una pelotita, algo así, donde usted puede aflojarlo. Okay, and now beneath the car again. I should have done this when I came the first time beneath here, but I didn't do it. 14mm bolt right there, and that bracket that is bolted to the engine block and then to the cylinder head. And now also, as you can see, I removed the 14mm nuts from the catalytic converter and exhaust pipe, because I'm gonna take out, as I said, because of the transfer case, too much work to remove it without the catalytic converter, so it's gonna come out like that. Ok, aquí voy a remover. Debí de haber hecho esto antes, cuando vine la primera vez aquí abajo del carro, pero no lo hice. El 14 milímetros, ahí ese abarrote que está pegado a la cabeza y al motor está atornillado. Y aquí las dos 14 milímetros del mofle. Okay, I already removed the cams, and now I lose all bolts, 12mm bolts on here, and it has this one over here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with this one here. This is Allen. This is a number 8 Allen, and I did not have one for to do with the ratchet. Only this one I had available. So what I did was, this is a socket here, half drive socket with an extension, and I put it like this, and that's how I got to lose it. And it was not hard at all. For some reason they put this Allen one here. It's not bad at all. I already put a numbers on the lifters. Puse, este es un número 8 Allen. Ya mostré cómo lo hice, porque no tenía uno disponible con racha. Solo tenía esta cosa, solo hice así y no estaba duro. Ahí salió, es número 8 y ya están todos y ya están enumerados. Por cualquier cosa que pase, ya no se confunde. After removing the cylinder head, if you can see, I hope the camera can get all of this. The head gasket is gone, completely bad. It was leaking. Estaba liqueando el gasket, el head gasket, el empaque de las cabezas por todo. Si pueden ver, está totalmente dañado, todito. Esta es la cabeza de delante. Taking the cylinder head out of the car. Have to remove this. This is the power steering pump. It has to come off from here too, because this bolt is attached to the cylinder head. So the power steering pump has to come off. La power steering tiene que salir de aquí también porque esto está pegado a la cabeza del motor aquí. So tiene que salir la power steering pump. Okay, just really quick, make sure you don't miss this, the Allen, the number 8 Allen, right there in this direction, right there. That's where it is, just in case, don't miss it. You have to take that out too. Number 8, el número 8 Allen, ese es en esa dirección ahí que está. Solamente. Esta es en la cabeza de atrás, por supuesto. That's at the rear cylinder head. Okay, this is the rear cylinder head. I already removed it, and I just want to go really quick and some stuff you have to remove first in order to remove the cylinder head. First, remove it from here, from the catalytic converter, the two 14mm nuts here. That's the first thing to do. Primero remueva esto, 14 milímetros, es lo primero, antes de atentar sacar esto, before attempting to remove the cylinder head. Then you have to remove this one here. This one is bolt to the cylinder, to the engine block. Esto está pegado en el bloque del motor. So remueva este primero, antes de este. The camshaft sensor, disconnected. Do not tend to remove this cylinder head and forgetting about the sensor here, because you're gonna rip off the wires. This is the bracket. This is the bracket here for the power steering pump. You don't have to take it off when the cylinder head is there. Just this one you have to lose. This is how it looks right there, and that's the muffler right there. If you can see, that's the muffler there. There is enough space to remove it with the cylinder head. And this is the one I was talking about, the 14mm bolt. It's attached to the cylinder head, so this has to come out first. Now, another thing I did was I had to put something here, because you cannot, even though it still has the old head gasket right there, but I still put something here just in case if you step on it or anything. Okay, and before removing the cylinder head, once I took off all the bolts and everything was ready to come out, I lifted up a little bit and placed two big screwdrivers, one on each side and between the engine block here and the cylinder head, just in case when I would be taking it out, it would slip off my hands. I would slide off my hands because it was too heavy, so I wouldn't scratch it. Apenas la levanté un poquito, le puse de estos, so por eso le puse algo así, porque si se me deslizaba ya no se me va a deslizar y las guías me la van a rayar. Las guías no quería que las guías me rayaran la cabeza en caso que se le deslice a uno, porque viene con el catalítico y es más pesada, es más incómodo y todo, y es en la parte de atrás. Because it came with the catalytic converter, it's heavier and it's more uncomfortable because it's the rear one. So if it moves or anything, I put some of these and the two big screwdrivers here. And so if it will move, it will move over this and over the screwdrivers like this, exactly like this. Okay, and I just cleaned the engine block here and with a razor, and then with sandpaper. I use 3M sandpaper. You can use up to 400, 500, something like that. That should be good. And then again, this razor here, make sure you do it evenly. Do not bury it inside the engine block, because then the cylinder head is gonna leak and you're gonna have problems. Then this screwdriver here to check if there is a blockage or carbon built up inside, and then after that go in every hole and blow it with a compressor. Usa esto, úsalo bien suave, no ponga presión en su mano y no deje que se le entierre ahí. Do not let this bury on the block, on the engine block right there. Then you're gonna be in trouble. It's gonna leak. Este es por si hay algún bloqueo adentro de carbón que edifica, for a carbon built up. So you go in every hole, and after that you have to blow it, and you have to this is the blower, this is the compressor here, and make sure you put the tap of this directly on every hole to make sure that it's gonna be clean before installing cylinder head. Asegúrese que ponga esto directamente en cada hoyo que usted ve ahí, para que se asegure que todo le salga, todo lo sucio le salga. It has to be a skinny screwdriver because these holes are very skinny. See? So I have done that already. And I use also this to clean the pistons. To clean the pistons like this, you gotta go like this. You use whatever method you have, but be careful not damaging the walls on the cylinders. So this is a plastic that I cut from a gallon, a regular plastic gallon, and I put it like this, and I clean it with this. And make sure you don't put this in a surface that is a rough or something. Asegúrese que no ponga esto en un cartón, en algo suave, y no la deslice. Do not slide it, do not pull it, just lift it up. And when you put it down, just put it down like that too. Do not slide it for any reason, even if you have it in a surface that is very smooth. This is a Enesis grease here. This one here, I use this one. Also, this is a good chance to inspect the cut. Make sure the cut is good before installing it, because after that it's gonna be hard. Asegúrense de inspeccionar el catalítico. A good way to check it because it's out. That's covered in another video. I have a video in my channel of how to inspect the cut. Make sure it's good. This is not gonna be covered, and on how to know if it's good or bad. I have videos on my channel too, if you visit my channel. Okay, and here are the cams over here. I put them in order the same way they were in the cylinder head. Those are the dots right here, and the paint mark I painted. So they are still lining up here. I put them like that because I like to have them in order. And also the cam caps are in order too, like right there. So these are the number 1 cylinder head here. These ones, see the paint right there, and lining up the dots right here. And these are the lifter here, the lifters. On one side cylinder number 1, and the other side cylinder number 2, and they all number, so I wouldn't have any problem. I know where they go. Así es como están los lifters ahí alineados para el banco 2 y banco 1. Y aquí están los cams, ahí están las marcas. Para verlo, este que es el de atrás, el del banco 1, es casi imposible. Bueno, yo no lo pude ver, no se pueden ver los dots, porque no se puede, entonces hay que marcarlo. That's the same way they're gonna go back. Así es como ellos van a ir de regreso. Okay, and I just installed both cylinder heads, and I know it was not seen in camera, but I don't have anything to hold my camera, so I'll buy something in the next few days. And this is a lifter here. Please put a little bit of oil before putting them, and do not put any pressure, just put them straight. So that's how they go inside, and you should be good for that. Do not put pressure at all, just place it in with a little bit of oil and push it in. It goes, and everything is fine. And for the rear cylinder head, a friend of mine helped me because it was very heavy with a catalytic converter attached to it. So don't touch anything with oily fingers before installing them. No le ponga presión al lifter, solo juegue con él y así llévelo. Si no lo va a dañar, lo va a rayar. Y se pegan fácilmente y después le cuesta sacarlo y lo arruina. Right there, that's the mark, and these are the dots here can be visible. But most likely I do this for the rear ones. I do it here, but these ones are very easy to see them line up. But in the rear it's very difficult to see the dots. As a matter of fact, you cannot even see them. I couldn't see the dots at all, to be honest. But because these guided me because after you put them, there's no way you can see, so you have to be carefully, especially with the rear ones. Not this one. This is a piece of cake. Esto más que todo se hace, esta marca más que todo yo lo hago más que todo por lo de atrás. If you put a mark before I take them off, that's the thing, before I take them off. This is just at the beginning of taking the cylinder head off. Okay, and here I am. I'm just put the cam caps here only by hand, and now I'm bolting all the 10mm bolts on the cam caps all by hand. Start like in the metal and then I spread it out. Up to you cannot do it by hand anymore. And then also put some lube or oil, engine oil on the cams before putting them here. And the cam caps, put a little bit of oil. I don't have engine lube at this moment, so I use engine oil. That is good too. So again, make sure you do all of them by hand and before torque specification, so everything goes even. Just really quick, I forgot to mention, when you take this idler pulley off, make sure you don't lose this washer. This you cannot miss this. This is very important. The thing will have problems if you don't put this washer, so watch out for it. Póngale esta guacha que no se le olvide. Es muy importante, si no va a tener serios problemas. Okay, this is just to show the timing marks on this thing. That's the timing mark right there. That's the dot, and that's the small vein right there. They gotta line up like a little lobe, like a little vein. Those are the timing marks, and these are just painted just to make sure that this is the side that is facing out. I always do that. It's nothing to do with something else. La marca del tiempo ahí, la dot, esa pelotita, y allá esta y esta tienen que combinar, tienen que alinear. Entonces ahí está a tiempo. Aquí está con la del cover de metal, with the cover, a metal cover here. They have to line up. Also there, they have to line up this line here. That's why the line on the timing belt with this here, and I have these things here. So because I'm still okay, and now this might look weird for some people, but that's the way I do it. This pulley here, I install it as a last, or in other words, I install the timing belt without that pulley, and after I have set up everything, the timing belt and every pulley, I come to install this one. I come from the top and I press it down against the timing belt, and I bolt the 14mm bolt, and it remains very good. So that's the way I do it, and it remains excellent. La mejor forma que he encontrado de ponerlas en estas Siennas, este idler, pongo la timing belt, la faja de tiempo sin este, y la vengo a poner, este idler después que ya tengo todo seteado aquí con esto prensada allá. Entonces vengo y lo aprieto así para abajo un poquito nomás y ya queda bien.